another big-time name just declared for the WNBA draft. LSU's very own Angel Reese officially made the announcement this afternoon, where she's expected to be a top 10 pick. Reese played her final college basketball game Monday night in the Elite Eight, falling to Iowa and Caitlin Clark, who advanced to the Final Four. However, she made headlines in her post-game comments, where she detailed how life has been difficult in the spotlight since LSU won it all last year. My former colleague, Emmanuel Acho, now at FS1, had this to say about Angel Reese this week. Quote, Angel Reese, you can't be the big bad wolf and then kind of cry like Courage the Cowardly Dog. Nobody mourns when the villain catches an L. And Angel Reese, you're self-proclaimed to be the villain. End quote. I think that's a bit excessive. Like Emmanuel Acho, got mad respect for him, but we don't have to always agree. I think that when you take into account the fact that this is a young lady, yes, she did wear the villain role on her sleeve, no doubt about that. She didn't do a lot to help herself when she was winning the NCAA championship last year against Iowa, and she was taunting Caitlin Clark. We saw that. But did we forget that Caitlin Clark had been doing the same thing to numerous opponents throughout that season last year? That it wasn't until she was humbled in that national championship game against LSU that she dialed it back a little bit? Where were you then, Emmanuel Acho? Where was everybody then? I'm not calling you out per se, Emmanuel Acho, because you're big-time talent. I got a lot of respect for you. You know I love your brother who works with me on First Take on ESPN during my day job. But the bottom line is that when you look at Angel Reese, it's not like she didn't have a point. Now, Emmanuel Acho is not totally wrong. You can't want to be the villain. You can't pride yourself in being the villain, and then you lose, and all of a sudden you succumb to those emotions. That is true to some degree. But usually when you lose and you have an opportunity to sit back and reflect, there's a mountain of emotions that get heaped on your shoulders, and it's hard to hold it in. Not to mention when teammates are coming to your defense because they realize how the insults against you have been so personalized by adults who have nothing to do with the game. They do nothing but play the role of spectators. And these adults who are supposed to set shining examples act as belligerent as children do at times. That's the kind of heat that Angel Reese was taking. Now, one of the things that we can't ignore, that part of the reason it was tough for Angel Reese when they lost Monday night is because LSU got their asses handed to them. Excuse my language, but it is necessary in this particular situation. Caitlin Clark gave it to them. Dropped 41, 9 of 18 shooting from three-point range, 9 of 20 to be exact, I'm sorry. And by the way, she put on an absolute show. She came out shooting from the logo and took it to them. She was clearly the best player on the court and bust their living you know what. So when you get it handed to you the way LSU got it handed to them, I'm sorry, that is a lot to absorb. It really, really is. Butt whippings, that'll do that to you sometimes. But it doesn't mean that what Angel Reese was subjected to since winning the national championship last year was justifiable. Some of it is excessive. We know what kind of a cruel society that we live in. And I think that although there are points to be made against Angel Reese, like Emmanuel Acho did, I think it's important to contextualize it properly and to recognize the fact that, hey, some of it was excessive. Death threats, really? She didn't deserve that. The constant and continuous vitriol, she didn't deserve all that. No, she wasn't perfect. Yes, she got in your face. Yes, she talked, but she's not a scrub. She's not somebody who was non-productive. She was a champion. And I think that Angel Reese should be remembered as that as much as anything else. That's all I wanted to say about that, ladies and gentlemen.